And if we can't, well, we'll have to go into hibernation for a little while and then we'll come back later. So it all started with us hitting, of course, the S&P 500 weekly that we'll soon show you. Let's move over to the QQQ just so you guys have the levels. The 2 hour, we've got here the 2 hour and we have a Fibonacci on it. You'll notice there's the 2 hour 20 and 50 moving average. It did bounce off that zone. Didn't quite get down to the 38.2 fib. And yeah, we're just looking for this resistance breakout of the 400 on the QQQ, which is the exact same that we just discussed. Let's move over to the SPY. This is the market we should always be watching. Now, we really hammered home this idea of 450 last week. That was a huge zone. The weekly 20, guys. That is something that if you want to imprint it in your mind, the weekly 20, weekly 20, weekly 20, weekly 20, it's been very consistent here. Now, it will one day break through, and you better pay attention when it does. And of course, that is inevitable. It will happen. But yeah, it's been very good. Let's check out this resistance. Here they all are. Closure point. Now, notice there's no closure above the 470. So how big will that be for the Santa rally? I think fairly significant. We're right on the zone. Resistance breakout, further rally, possible pullback back down to test this area as well, which could allow conservative traders to get back in, and then we move back up. And a lot of people are saying, oh, Tom, the market's overpriced, man. And yeah, look, it may be by many metrics, but look at the hyper stocks. Some of those are down 40 to 60% now from their highs. So the market's done a lot of rebalancing. There are certainly some decent deals out there in some of these sectors, and I think that's where you've really got to be looking now. You've got to start to say, well, what's hot, what's not? Do I see good technical analysis bases and accumulation on some of these sectors that are not hot right now? And when you see it, possibly that's one of the things you want to be looking at. Here on the SPY, it looks pretty strong though for the week ahead. The other thing that we mentioned before was the options, and of course, look at this. Look how much red lines there are, guys. It's red line city all the way down. I don't know what that is. 25? That guy's is mad. But anyway, there's some puts over there. But most of the puts, you'll notice the big ones overwhelmingly are red. And when everyone's got puts in the market tends not to crash. Again, these are sitting around that 450, which we mentioned a few weeks ago. The 465, there's some, but there's not a huge amount of calls. So I think the market could still be open. It might even chop a little bit this week, but once it breaks through, we'll start to see the calls rise. And when that gets out of control, and of course we're seeing the opposite, then we start to pay attention and go, okay, well, maybe we need to be a little bit bearish on this market. Of course, it's the opposite of what common sense sometimes makes you think that actually does work out. And it makes sense when you think about who's trying to make money and who's trying to steal money from somebody else. Remember, that is the key here in the markets. SPX, if we're taking a look here, we've got our monthly R2 sitting around 4,800. So we probably expect the market to be not really going through this zone ahead of the end of the year. It would still be a big ask and a very nice movement. If we're thinking about percentages, how much is that, you might ask? About 2%, so it's not exciting, but that is a key area. Monthly R2s are no joke. We've seen the R1 previously hold the resistance. The R1 this time was clearly smashed, and now we look towards the R2. But you don't generally get through these monthly pivots through normal news. If you've got like a massive shock in the markets, or you have some kind of massive stimulus, you can, but look back in the history, again, monthly R2, monthly R1, monthly R2 near the end, and of course that's where it was. So it's good to look at pivots, and this is why we pay so much attention to them, because they can give us, when we are in an unknown market, where our expectations might lie. Let's move over to the crypto market. BTC shorts, that is all of the big whales, continue to kind of lower their shorting potential, which is good for Bitcoin. And the other good thing for Bitcoin is it's finally starting to recover a little bit. Small scare here. We got down to that 47K again. Not good when we get down there. We're on the 8-hour chart. We're dealing with this annoying resistance that we had previously. If we close above there, then we'll also be getting through an 8-hour 20. We get through maybe this 50K mark again, and surely that's starting to put in some good signs here for Bitcoin. Another thing that some Bitcoin traders will be excited about is what if through the week we get through this resistance, breach it, close above. Wow, that'll be fantastic. Big double bottom, big deal. As you guys know, a lot of traders will be looking at that as an accumulation base, and they'll be getting excited for the movement. We've also seen Ethereum start to drop back against BTC. So maybe there's a bit of a strengthening coming back into Bitcoin in comparison to Ethereum. So watch that one out, because Ethereum hasn't been as strong as some of the other coins in the last couple of trading sessions. Calendar, this is where the news is. PPI Tuesday, 8:30 a.m. New York time. Definitely be watching that. And then we have the big one, the Papa Pal. He's coming out to ruin our day, to ruin our fun. We have on the Wednesday, December 15th, FOMC statement, funds rate, press conference. Whoa, so much fun to watch him talk for an hour or whatever it's going to be. But look, this will be the bit of news that people are watching. They're going to be checking it out to see whether the Fed is in line with the market. And I think you need to remember, and everyone needs to remember this, that while it could be an outlier point, in general, the Fed's really looking out for the market in the US. It's not like every other place in the world where sometimes they'll do anti-market behavior. In the US tends to be positive. So let's hope that is also quite good there. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoy the videos, please remember to subscribe, smash that like button. It really helps us out. And I want to see your predictions. 2022, S&P 500. What price do you think it'll get to? I will literally let you guys know in the next couple of weeks what I think it's going to get to. But I'm super interested to see your comments first. Stay well, stay happy, and of course, trade as best as possible. See you in the next one, guys.